We definitely will do an episode where we have just read each other's books because we have not read each other's books yet.
We haven't, but you don't even read fantasy.
No, I'm going to have to really psych myself up.
You are. I do think you need like a precursor of like ACOTAR or something.
Okay.
Because diving right into mine would be like, buckle up. This is crazy.
Welcome to this episode of Margs Manuscripts, the podcast where two writers talk about writing, publishing, and the existential crisis that comes with it.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Cait. Cheers.
Cheers. Should probably hold this up while we're doing a toast. Sure. Cheers.
So, we're here.
We're here. So this is essentially our therapy, but
Yep.
louder and probably a bit more unhinged, and there's drinks involved.
Yes.
Because I don't think there's a lot of licensed therapists that would actually say yes to cocktails.
Accurate. Better drinks.
So if you're asking yourself exactly how this podcast came to be, well, of course there's a joke behind that. And I
pretty much started like all great ideas do, right? Like by being hungover in a writing workshop after a night of too many margaritas in New Mexico, and one of us passing a note to the other in the middle of a writing workshop that said, "Hey, Margs Manuscripts."
And we totally got it. And then we instantly went on Amazon, purchased some mics, and poured more margaritas. And now just questionable decisions have been made.
We do want to start off the first episode with one of the most important and what I think is one of the most underrated parts of being a creative in any field, but especially writing, and that is finding your people.
Yes. So it's the real reason why we're here at all.
Because writing is definitely a solo activity, but so is crying, and you definitely shouldn't do both alone. So
Yeah,
that's
totally agree. And it's, you know, our critique groups can only go so far, but when it comes to actually connecting with others and you want to be able to eventually find your people, that's kind of why we're here. So we want to be those people. We want you to
let us know when you get a terrible rejection. You need to talk about it.
You've been getting loads of those, Cait, but only the best ones.
Yeah, for sure. It's so fun.
And, of course, we want to celebrate the wins with you.
Yep, and always keep you from setting your computer on fire.
Yeah, that's kind of important. They're a little expensive. So, let's talk about how we found our people. Who are our writing people? And how do you actually keep them? And because no matter where you are in the process, either if you're drafting, you're writing, you're world building, like me, or querying, or even just promoting your bestseller, the whole experience is way easier when you have people behind you, in your corner, and they're celebrating you.
Especially people who get it, because I don't know about you, but nobody in my household, my children nor my husband, understand the choices that I'm making.
No, husbands don't count. Absolutely not.
They don't count unless your husband is also writing. But then I feel like you should still find a different community outside of your husband.
Yeah.
If you guys are both doing the same thing, you should.
That would be an interesting show.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting episode of like, hey, both me and my partner are writers. And no, I don't see that going well.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us about that. If that's you, please tell us about that partnership and what you learned about well. But how did you, like, what communities are you involved in? Like formal communities of writers?
So first was WFWA, which is Women's Fiction Writers Association.
Yep.
So that is not women writers. It is people who write women's fiction, which is a genre or a subgenre. And then Novel Bound is the second one that I am part of. And fun fact is that WFWA is how me and Cait became Insta friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
When we were in New Mexico, legit, everyone thought that we were like long-term best friends, that we knew each other for years. I'm like, no, literally just met her the other day.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I posted something on Instagram about getting like rising star feedback, and like I tagged WFWA. And then Cait, you were like, oh, you're part of WFWA too? I'm like, yes. And then I like coerced you into coming to New Mexico. So.
Yep, you're Insta besties. I've never had that before. I've
I
never
haven't either.
Yeah, like I've never met somebody on Instagram and then like or like had like, oh, it's Jenna's like and comment on your stuff and then like we meet in real life. I've never.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really funny because neither of us met our husbands on dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you knew him long before dating apps. I met Cody at a bar, and we don't know that experience of like from going from the digital world to real life and forming like a personal connection because we've never met.
I do have this one story about when like I tried.
You did date? Oh, you did the dating apps?
No, I did not the dating apps, but I did try to meet another writer on Instagram. But she posted this one story, and she's in New York, and she was like, "Hey, I have an extra ticket to this concert. You know, you have to buy the ticket, but if anybody's interested in coming with me, like last minute, somebody couldn't take the ticket, so." I sent her a message and I was like, I will totally go to this concert with you. Like, I'm not that far. I will come down and go to this concert with you. And she was just like, okay, yeah, like, you're on my selling points. Like, I don't drink. I'm a lot of fun. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, she just made it, like, trying to give this ticket to somebody who was going to have a lot of fun with her. And so I sent her a message back being like, here are my selling points. Like, I'm also writing a book. Nothing weird. I was like, I'm also writing a book, and we're like, I think you're cool, and we would be friends, and it'd be a super fun show to go to. And then she never sent me a message back.
Oh.
I was like, I guess I'm not going to Mumford and Sons.
Oh, it was Mumford and Sons. Maybe she was just really looking for a date.
I think I honestly, maybe she was. That is such a good point. It makes me feel so much better. The point is, the writing community is very supportive on Instagram, on TikTok as well. I'm not on TikTok, but I know that
I'm not on TikTok either.
On, Novel Bound, they do a lot of TikTok stuff, but they're more like cool Gen Z. They do cooler stuff than I'm used to, so I should get more involved in that. But
like the Gen Z TikTok stuff, maybe the kink in our marketing armor. Except, have you ever looked at your demo of followers on Instagram?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so not only are we doing a podcast together, I will be giving you like social media marketing 101.
Yeah, I think so. No, I have never looked at my demo, but tell the people.
Okay.
Please tell the people.
You can, if you swap it from like a personal account to like a creator account or whatever the hell they want to call it this week. So my demo is 90% female, obvi. But also 25 to 34 is like my largest. I think it's like 67% of my followers.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I can do that. Even though no female main character of mine will ever be below the age of 30. Like,
oh, that's so interesting.
I promise you this.
Yeah.
So, because I know yours like is based off of like real life experiences, like when you were going through your 20s and 30s.
Yeah, she's like 20. She's like 27.
But I don't know. Maybe I will change my mind one day. But today, in 2025, this is my declaration.
Yeah, that's so. I have to look. I'm gonna look.
Yes.
That's hilarious. And so, if you don't know your demo, I guess that's very useful.
Mm-hmm. I think the silliest part is that I, like, in the captions or, like, in my posts, I'm like, what do 25-year-olds like? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm almost 36. I have 2 kids. I live in Wisconsin. Nothing really... Okay, a lot of interesting things happen here, but that'll be for another day. But I don't feel like I'm that interesting. And everyone younger than me seems like they're far more interesting than I am. You're putting up with you will be putting up with our random tangents, and you will be part of the inside jokes at the end of this. I promise you.
Yeah. I found WFWA. Shout out to Ginger and everybody at WFWA. They're amazing. Because I was just like super desperate to go away and write. I was like, I don't know, do I have to like get a hotel room by myself in somewhere in the middle of Vermont away from my kids where I'm just writing for 5 days by myself? Like that sounds awful. So I just Googled, like, I was like, I don't know.
What are you talking about? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, but it's like so lonely. I was like, what am I going to do like in a cabin in Vermont by myself? But I just Googled writing retreats because I figured that was a thing. And the first one was WFWA in Alexandria that popped up, which isn't too far. So I went to that. And honestly, I did not know how much I needed to find people that were doing the same thing. Finding those people, like it doesn't matter what retreat you're on. I could not believe how kind the community was.
So kind. Like I was terrified because I went with really only knowing you, and I'd never met you in person. And then I got there and everyone was so nice. Like what did I tell my husband? I said, like, it's like the first day of school, but then there's no evil bitches. Everyone's just really nice.
You can sit at any table. I feel like even like the tables where I felt like, oh, they seem to know each other, or like maybe they were here before with each other, and I would still go sit at, and they would be like, hi, like, what's your name? Where are you from? And it was like I was immediately part of the group, which I had never really experienced that sort of kindness.
No.
From other women in my life. Yeah.
It's like you go to any like young professionals like networking stuff. No, it's not like that. Like there are cliques of people. Like this is we're all in it and we're all just a little crazy. So it's just really nice to be surrounded by people that get it. You don't have to explain the emotions.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain the insecurities either. That's a really big one. Is you get there and you're meeting everyone and everyone's a little scared. Everyone's really excited. And everyone just pour their heart out in a book, and which is a very personal activity. And they want to share it. And it's so fun.
It was so fun. And then the bonus about going on a retreat, again, it could be Novel Bound, it could be any one of these writers associations that exist, is that they give you so much time to write. So you are doing it as solo as you want to or as involved as you want to, but at the same time, they'll have like a morning workshop in something that just gets you in a room with other people talking about character arcs or something really useful. And every time you go, I don't care if you have an MFA in creative writing or you're picking up a pen for the first time, like all of the information is always so fresh and there's always some really nice new take on it. But just to be doing it with other people in the room and like being able to go get margs and talk about it after was super helpful. I do belong to Novel Bound too, and their community is, I think it specifically does a good job at driving conversation even outside of the retreats because they do have like their own Discord. And they do like the conversation goes, you could be talking to somebody all day if you wanted to. It just like all my Discords keep popping up throughout the day. And I'm like, oh, that seems fun. I'm going to go chat with her about whatever. It just depends on what you're looking for. But starting here is good.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere.
Talking about it. It's good. If you have any questions on either one of those organizations, we're happy to answer them, or any others that we know that you're thinking about joining. Please reach out to us because it's one of the most important things, I think, to be able to do.
So my day job is I work with associations and organizations to help build websites for them. My coworker, he's like, how about you join one? I'm like what? What am I going to do? And he told me like he joined He's really into bike riding. So he joined, I forget which association, but it's essentially for like road bikers. And I'm like, well, what do I do that would warrant one? So thank you, Google. Thank you, ChatGPT. I found a few options. I found the one that looked the most legit, and that was WFWA. I joined it. But then I did the Rising Star submissions, got some feedback, and then I'm like, screw it, doing a writing retreat.
Yeah.
So I did the thing.
I definitely, without the workshops involved in both Novel Bound and WFWA, like I wouldn't be anywhere near
God, no.
the completion of a manuscript or querying. I'm querying right now, and like to be able to just like talk to people about any rejection letter that I get, or celebrate like, hey, got a full request. So like, is this normal? Is it like, I don't know what I would do, and I just wouldn't have made it this far. I just
No.
I would have given up, or like I would have, yeah, I would have been like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or whatever we tell ourselves.
Yeah, I would have given up like 100 times over if it wasn't for knowing that other people were going through the shit.
I wrote one specific scene in my book at the first retreat that I went to, and it was a scene where my main character finds out she's being cheated on at a really bad community theater production of Mamma Mia. Shout out if you're doing a bad community production of Mamma Mia right now. You get the joke. And it was just like a super fun scene to write. And I think that when I read that scene, I can hear that fun that I was having at the retreat. I can hear how happy I am in that scene. Like it like comes through the page that like I was just having a really good time where I was when I was writing it.
You see, I wish my book was like that. Mine's like super dark and dismal at times. So fun isn't exactly one of the verbs nor adjectives one would use in the midst of my story. So yeah, I rewrote my beginning for like the 12th time while I was at the writing retreat in New Mexico.
Refreshing. It's refreshing. We definitely will do an episode where we have just read each other's books, because we have not read each other's books yet.
We haven't. Well, okay, yours is like done, and mine is done with a lot of asterisks.
I want a big read though. I definitely like. We just need to do where we don't even talk about it at all, and we just come into record having just read each other's books. We're definitely we're doing it. Episode idea I'm putting in right now.
But you don't even read fantasy.
No, I'm gonna have to really psych myself up.
You are. I do think you need like a precursor of like ACOTAR or something.
Okay.
Because diving right into mine would be like, buckle up. This is crazy.
Okay. And this is why communities matter. I have a question. I just thought of this. What if you could like have like, who would be like your dream either critique partner or beta reader, like anybody, like alive or dead? Like if you could just send your book to one person, who's like your ultimate person you would be like, I want you to read this book?
It would be Sarah J. Maas, because her world building, specifically because of her world building and her female main character in the Throne of Glass series,
okay,
it is the best. Like, people say that, you know, like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, like that's some crazy good world building. Like, yeah, that's neat, but that's like all men. Like, there's literally just...
That's such a good point.
A whole lot of testosterone. And that's not really helpful. So her world building, it is the creme de la creme of world building, where like things make sense. There's not a lot of plot holes. The female main character is a badass, but also not one-dimensional. And probably Allie Hazelwood for like the contemporary romance side of things. Yeah. Because she is the queen of like, she has her romance arc dialed in so that every book she writes is just, yes, it's minorly predictable, but that's kind of the point. But it is so good and so like There are moments of laughter and joy and sadness. And she's great. I love her. Yeah. What about you? Who would you want to read your book or send your query to?
Yeah, I mean, I think like when I'm thinking of like asking you, I'm thinking of like literally ultimate critique partner, but also the person that like whenever you do have your book in your hands
Yeah.
and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just put it in the mail and send it to whoever. Like I literally have that because me and
Who is
my
it?
husband did this for our wedding. I don't know why. But we like sent invitations to like who on the whole face of the planet would you like do you idolize for no reason or for a great reason, but like would you want to have at your wedding?
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Shut up. That's who.
Absolutely. That's not who I booked, but that's
Okay.
a really good one to know. I sent mine to, you're gonna laugh. Ours was like, we ended up doing like who was like our biggest influence in our life, who would be like special at our wedding. And he like loves this jazz singer, Jamie Cullum, and he like sent it to Jamie Cullum. And I'm obsessed with, I wrote a book about like the millennial, like kind of eat, pray, love story. And I grew up obsessed with travel and travel TV shows and all that. So I sent mine to this woman, Samantha Brown, who has done a lot of travel shows. But that's who my wedding invite to got sent to. But for my book, I think,
Love that.
yeah, I think Mindy Kaling. I dream about like being able to put it in a package and just like send it to, I don't know. I'm acting like I know where these people live, but like I know she has an office at Warner Brothers. So I'm like, maybe I'll just like address it to Mindy Kaling at Warner Brothers. But Mindy Kaling, I want her to be my critique partner. I want her to read my manuscript and tell me if it's funny or not. I just think she's the ultimate. Or like Tina Fey. Or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like those are my girls. If they could be in my community of writers. Actually, there's like also this woman who writes for Mindy Kaling and Tina Fey. She's involved in like 30 Rock. She's involved in the Mindy Project, and she's a writer, and you never hear her name, but she's Tracy Wigfell. And
I haven't heard of her.
I'm hoping I'm saying her name right on a podcast. I could totally be
just butchering it.
She's from Boston, which Mindy Kaling's from Boston as well, so represent Boston. But she writes on all of these shows that you watch, and half the jokes that we probably quote are probably hers. And I want to have a glass of wine with her and just, yeah, I wish I was sitting next to her at some workshop, which I never will be because she will never be going to indie publishing workshops with me. But
probably not. No.
Drop a comment. Let us know who your ultimate, who would you want to read your book or be in your critique group or be a part of your community.
Or if you did an appropriate amount of stalking and you could find their actual address and send them a book.
Just send them your book.
So when I first started like my Instagram page, like away from like my personal page, because no one needs to see that many photos of my children on the day-to-day, but it was a lot of just like bookstagrammers, like avid readers, and like I kind of started off that way, and I still do that like content, and I still love that content. But there's like a subgenre of like a subset of authors that are part of like the Instagram-y thing, and all of them are really kind.
Yeah.
And they're not like judgy at all. And if you just message them and like I've had people ask me like, hey, would you read like my ARC? I just have it like a digital version. I don't have like the published version. I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, yeah, my TBR is probably like 45 books right now. But, you know, I'll do the things. And everyone's just like so willing to just either share your post, celebrate in your wins, or kind of educate like the bookstagrammers about how writing's really hard. So even just starting that way.
That's such a great point. I think too, the thing about even just like dipping your toes into the community on Instagram, which it seems like Instagram is the best platform for writers to connect with writers.
Yeah.
But like what I find so fascinating too about being a part of these associations and on the community on Instagram is like you could be somebody who's literally written 10 pages of your book and has never written anything else in their entire lives, or you could be a New York Times bestseller.
Oh my
And
God.
we're all in the same boat. And nobody's like, oh, I'm not talking to you because like
No.
those are out there. They're out
Like,
there. But I think those people are not going to the workshops and the retreats,
no.
or like are members of the same communities that they don't have the community mindset. So like, but I think that the people that do, it's incredible. It's incredible the amount of resources that you gain just because in a workshop you're sitting next to somebody who's sold 20,000 books.
Right.
And you're just in the same spot as they are. And
Yeah.
they're so open to like, hey, like here's my email, or like if you ever have any questions about how to choose an agent, or how to like what you should ask in if they're getting an offer of representation, like things like that, like to just be able to have those resources is one of the best parts too.
And asking the questions. I think that's what a lot of people are scared to do, is ask what they deem as like, what does a successful author look like? Asking them about their journey, and no one's going to shit on you. Like if you ask a question, like we were sitting in that indie publishing workshop and I like just raised my hand and I said, I'm like, how much did that cost you? And she like told us, and she said, oh yeah, like I have it all documented in a spreadsheet of how much.
I'll send you the spreadsheet.
Yes. And I'm like, so you like share the knowledge with us. Like we're not competitive.
No, and everybody has the same sense that there's a seat for everyone at the table.
Yes.
And I think when you are in the trenches, I think that when you are in the places that we are, whether you're finishing your novel, you're in the query trenches, or your book's on sub, or you have low sales, it can truly feel like you don't have any power over your seat at the table. It can truly feel like you don't have a voice. I just want to end by saying, like, joining these communities, you are, listen to me, notice me. I'm working just as hard as you guys are. And like, it feels like it gives you more power and control over your craft and your art, but most importantly, your voice. And so that's what we're all doing here, right?
I was explaining this to someone that you just need to believe that you are important.
Yeah.
And once you believe you're important and your story is important to tell, like the story like we're actually like writing, but like also like this one, then when you ask the questions or when you make those connections, everyone is going to be like, I want to be like them. No one cares how many. Okay, personally, I will care about how many books I've sold, but that's not your value to people that you're meeting. It's how important is your writing to you? Is it something super fun? Great. Is it something that you want to do full time? Awesome. But if you feel important and you feel like writing is an important part of you, we're all just going to give you a big old warm hug.
I know the feeling of like not thinking that you belong at the table, but you do. Here, our goal is to get more voices involved, right?
Yes.
Create a community. So I think that if you have any thoughts you want to share with us, your community or what's been working for you, again, if you have any questions about joining ours, definitely comment on our Instagram. We want to have more readers on. We want to have more writers on. We want everybody's voices to be heard because that's what we're here for as well.
And we want to celebrate you because my story isn't the best story. Your story is the best story.
Everybody's story is the best.
That was like a collective your story, yes. Not like a I love you, Cait.
Her story is the best story.
Yes. Sorry, Ray just like bopped in here like right when we were doing that. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, we're good. Do you want to end it there? Should we do a cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers to Our first episode. I think we did it.
Yeah. This is going to be a doozy, and we're going to get the technical shit down. I promise you. And John's going to come home and he's like, you literally duct taped your camera?
Yeah. Yeah, he sure is.